guys, I'm Nagadir-chan, and welcome to my review for Blade of the Immortal, episode 8 and episode 9. Both of these episodes felt kinda short, maybe because there were more of informational, like there was a lot of infos about stuff, than things happening, or like new stuff happening, even though there was some stuff, especially with Shira. But like I've said, Shira is thing on his own. I have my notes here because I watched these episodes some time ago, so I don't exactly remember everything right. So I don't want to forget something. And I will start with episode 8. Episode 8, we had the group we were introduced previously. How they are called? So I think Mugairu, where Hyakurin and Shira and other guys were. I don't exactly remember the name. Me and names. And like previously we were introduced to them and Shira, and suddenly this episode they were sitting inside some inn or tea house or whatever, discussing about Anatsu, and Manji and Rin were thinking to join the forces, or I think Hyakurin and others were also wanting to join forces with them. I think probably because Shura introduced them or something. So I don't exactly remember, but I feel like there was a really weird cut. Like, I know they cut a lot, even though I don't remember it, but like when I'm reading discussions and such, people are mad because they are cutting a lot of stuff. But for me, I know some details, but I haven't read manga for a very long time, so I don't remember it and exactly. But so far I didn't feel like there were much skips or cuts, but like from 7th episode to this episode there is some like really weird cut because it ended with Shira being crazy and suddenly they are talking together and I'm like, okay, this feels weird. Yeah, it felt very weird, like continuation of this episode with 7th. For the first time I felt that and I really didn't like that, so yeah. This episode was kinda, it was annoying me, that weird cut or whatever happened. Manji wanted to know what exactly are they trying to do and who is their leader, like who is behind all of this, because it's very shady and what they are trying to do. Because he doesn't trust them, which is obvious. I mean, Shira is there, I wouldn't trust anyone with Shira. I don't exactly remember if people who are like behind Mugairu are part of the shogunate or are trying to oppose the shogunate. I don't know, I don't exactly remember. One of these. It's definitely one of these. So they were like having this kind of discussion together, if they should be together joining against Anatsu. Then we had a cut title. Jesus, oh my god, mere names. And finally he was like going back to the red district, and I guess he was trying to meet with his girl, but she was dead, so he'll learn about her death. And he was very mad about it. Like, of course it wasn't very explicit, but you could tell like that you really didn't like what happened. And there was like the friend of his girl, and she was really mad. She blamed him, that it was his fault she died because, you know, things he does are dangerous and he's swordsman, and of course there would be people going after him, so she blamed him because, yeah, Shira was going after him and he took it on that poor girl because he's sicko. So the girl was very angry at him. They kinda like took their anger out on each other. Yeah, definitely that felt bad. She was really mad at him, and Taito really wasn't very happy about it. Like, she blamed him, and he didn't say anything. But you could definitely see that he was sad and kind of mad, but he wasn't showing it that much. And because of that, she was mad. But back to this whole group of Muga, Ryu, and Manji and Rin. Um, Again, that was weird cut. Like, this whole episode was weird cuts here and there. Like, slow down, please. And I think it was a night, evening, I guess night. And I really like relationship of Hyakurin and Rin and manga. So they were kind of like nicely bonding here and like kind of starting their relationship and friendship. Hyakurin is really great. I really love her. Like, she's an amazing person. And Hyakurin was kind of like talking about different stuff. And of course, seeing Manji and Rin is kind of weird. Like, they probably told them, like, yeah, I'm trying to get revenge on Anotsu, but still, like, the way Rin is talking about Manji is definitely far from just Manji being her guardian, and, you know, she really likes him. So Hyakurin asked her about it, and Rin was immediately like denying, no, I don't feel anything for him, but that's lie. We all know that she's feeling for him. I mean, yeah, she's a young girl, already 16. She probably never met any guy in her life like this. She also been through a lot of shit, so of course the first guy who is kind of nice to her, she would like fall for him. That's understandable. I can get it. I don't know if Hyaku had nightmares. She like woke up very. She screamed and woke up, so she definitely had some nightmares. And Rin looked very confused, and Hyakurin like warned her not to fall for samurai, and she seemed very like stressed about it. So first hint about her past, which is really fucked up. Just wait. Like, that's why I love Hyakurin. She's a very strong person, extremely great, and she went through some fucking hell on earth. And, like, you think Rin went through something, but damn, like, Hyakurin, she didn't deserve any of that. Like, I don't know what's with characters in this manga, but females are really great ones. Especially Hyakurin and Makie. But Rin later on gets a little bit better too, so yeah. So that was like first hint on her tragic past. That was, and it's very spicy, very spicy. Of course, Rin and Manji are having a nice bonding times too. Like, I love how Rin approaches him. She's like trying to be kind of sneaky. And she's still kind of awkward. But of course, Shira just went in and kind of destroyed a nice mood. Like, every time Shira appears, the mood just definitely goes beyond zero. Like, this guy. This guy. There was some, Anotsu had some plan to, like, kind of mess with these people and to get through gates in a city. And like Mugairu, is it Mugairu? Yeah, Mugairu and Manji, they got information. So their initial thought was that Anotsu will be dressing as a female to get through the gate, but also that was kind of weird because guardians of the gates would definitely check there, like they are very through like about this gating stuff, so they will definitely check everything out to know if you are dangerous, if you have weapons, if you are male, female, whatever. They will definitely know, even if you are dressed differently. If you're a criminal, they check these things out. So it kind of didn't make sense, but they still kind of went after it because they didn't know what is Anotsu planning. And Rin even asked a woman of the place they were staying. I don't know if it was like in our tea place or everything at once. I just don't know. I don't remember. And like how it would be possible to cross the gates, and she told them that it's kinda doesn't make sense if he dresses as a female because they would still know he's male because they would check everything. So it was kinda weird, but she asked her like how it works basically. And then like they were discussing this stuff, and outside there was some commotion. Oh yeah, some guy yelling that he's Anatsu and he was fighting with someone. So of course that was definitely some kind of commotion to whatever Anatsu is planning to get through it. He made commotion, so attention, it will bring attention, and meanwhile Anatsu will do what he wanted to do. He's clever. Like, you need to give him that. He's very clever with all his plans he does. Clever guy. There was some woman dressed and like she had something wrapped in a cloth, and it looked very similar to what Anatsu is using. Some kind of weird hammer or whatever, it's very heavy. So Rin and Shira went after her to check if it is Anatsu or not, and all this group, like their group kinda split it, and they went after different people to check like if this person is Anatsu or not. Immediately when Shira was like, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good at all. Like, Rain, I would definitely not go with him, but okay, do whatever you want to do, girl. So, of course, all these females were fakes, because, of course, Anatsu is not stupid. I think he definitely, like, put this information out on purpose to kind of mess with them. He is clever boy, like. So they thought this woman is Anatsu dressed as woman, but it was some prostitute or something, and they gave her money to like bring them to some place. And there was also guys which ambushed them. They ambushed all of the people which they're following them. But like, of course, Mogaryu, Manji, Shira, they are strong people, so they kind of murdered them immediately, and they were trying, I think, to get some info. Rin and Shira were ambushed by some dudes, but well, these dudes didn't have a chance at all. Shira was very excited with the fight, but it was a short fight, so he wanted more. Like I said, Rin should not be near him at all. Goddamn. Yeah, and now the little bit of fucked up part starts. There was these women which brought like members of this team, which is after Anatsu, Mogaryu, and Manji. And I think, I don't know if everyone killed them or just let them go or whatever, but Shira definitely didn't want to let go anyone. So he decided to just mutilate a poor woman and do other stuff to her because he's fucking sick bastard. So I think she was running away and he cut off her leg, and then he impaled her hands, kinda undressed her a little bit because he also wanted to have fun. I mean, it wouldn't be Shira if there wouldn't be a rape, of course. Typical Shira. He almost cut her breast off. Like, okay, I understand this woman, like, she did this for money, but still, like, at least kill her fast. Don't mutilate her and do all this horrible stuff before you kill her or whatever. Like, I wouldn't say anything if you just killed her immediately. I would be kind of mad because, yeah, this woman, I mean, she was prostitute. She probably didn't have much money. We didn't know why she did that. You know, there is too much complicated to just tell that she was bad girl. Like, maybe she was trying to get money for her old dying father or young ill brother. Yeah, like, you don't know shit, so don't be judgmental. But yeah, he was definitely mutilating her and he had a lot of fun, and like, for a longer time, Rin was just standing there watching it, kind of even in shock, mostly shock. I was like, please, Rin, do something. Shura is too strong, so she wouldn't stand a chance. Kind of like, I want her to do something, but she has no chance, so it's kind of bad for her, no matter what. Yeah. Yeah, he was about to rape her, and then Rin finally started to do something. And she was with him, or she, even though he's sick, he's very strong. So she was kind of trying to follow him and observe him because how strong he is. And she thought that by observing him and being with him, that kind of strength he has, she would be able to understand it and like get it, and she wanted to be strong too, so she was thinking it would help her, but now she realized he's just too sick for it. Like she does not want to have anything with him. Kind of late realization, but okay. So she declared him her enemy, and she talked like this idealistic shit, like he's sick and that he's her enemy. And okay, girl, you done? Can I continue? And I was laughing like, girl, you're so naive. You have no idea what Shira is, who he is. It's kind of funny. Like, she was so angry. Like, you are a fool bastard. You are sick, and I will do things to you. I don't care. I don't want to like be your friend or whatever. And I was like, I don't care, girl. I just want to do my stuff. Can you leave, please? That was so hilarious. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care with your talking. He just wants to continue, do you understand? So it's kind of funny. Yeah, Rin, you don't understand how this man works at all. So she got, of course, kind of angry, so because he started to continue, so she attacked him. But he's too fast for her. Like, of course, he's very great swordsman. He almost killed her. And he also, it was probably before that she tried to attack him once, and he broke her nose, and then she tried to attack him like this time to go like for the kill, because before she started to stop him. But of course he would kill her if Manji wouldn't appear, so at least he appeared and cut his hand off. Like, good lord that you have Manji behind our girl, because if not, you would be dead, and I'm sure he would mutilate your body, even if you would be dead. He's sick, so that wouldn't be nice. So he cut his hand off, and Shira just screamed and ran away pissed. Because, it's kind of hard to fight when you don't have a hand and you are bleeding excessively. So yeah, Rin tried to help the woman because she was still lying on the ground. So she was trying to help her, give her first aid, but like they left her there. So I was kind of like, I mean, I know she was with enemies, but still, like, would someone help her? Or she would just bleed to death? Okay, but at least Rin tried to help her. And finally, Rin realized that she was kinda stupid. Good girl, I mean, she was trying, she is young. Of course, she's being stupid, but at least she realized it now, so good for her. And this whole episode felt, like I've said, too disconnected and was annoying me the whole time watching it. So I give it 7.5 out of 10. Mostly because of final part with Shira. I really enjoy Shira. He's such a bastard, like such a villain. And I love it. So yeah, that was this episode. Then next episode, Blade of the Immortal 9. Oof, Rin decided to sneak through gate to get to Anatsu, because he definitely sneaked through gate when he was making this commotion with fakes. And she decided to go on her own. She left some message for Manji, like, I'm sorry, blah blah blah, I'm going on my own and I'm going through the gates. So she thought if she would go alone, she could make it. But she gonna find out that she's also criminal. I don't know who put word on her, but she has like her wanted black together with Manji, so both of them are fucked and they cannot just leave because they're wanted. So that's kind of sucks. Her plan was immediately flashed through the toilet. Kind of sucks, girl. Previously, Rin was asking some stuff in the T-ship house. Like, how is it possible to pass through gates? And she learned there is some guy smuggling people. So she got some info on him and went to him. I think he lives near the village, which is very close to the gates. So she asked him to adopt her. So she would be part of his family and it wouldn't be a problem for him to smuggle her. But, I mean, do you think they would not notice that suddenly this guy has a daughter and she wants to go through gate, and that's kind of fishy, you know? I don't think they would believe that. And this guy kind of told her that they are not doing this because they used to do this a lot, like smuggling people. But because few years ago they kind of screw up, like hugely screwed up. There was some girl, she wanted to pass, and some poor girl, and they found about it, and they beheaded her, and because they knew this like smuggler was part of it, they kind of forced them to watch the beheading, which is fucked up. Like, poor little girl. And also they, I think, closed their business because they had some inn or something. So yeah, I mean, still it's like was very, still like, if we account the fact that he was smuggling people, like, it wasn't much what they did to them. It could be way worse. So yeah, they were lucky they didn't kill them too. So I can understand why he does not want to do that again. And now they are kind of trying to have a normal business. So, but Rin was kind of like, I really like Rin in this episode. She was very determined. She really took a very different approach. Very determined, very adult approach. Because before she was very naive, but now she was like, I'm gonna do it. I don't care, whatever. So she told him, like, I don't care if they would catch me and kill me. I mean, I'm already criminal, so whatever. There is nothing which would help me, so I need to try, I need to do that. She was very good at persuading him. Poor smuggler, like, seriously, he almost had a heart attack because of her in this episode. She was like really good. Really good. I mean, like I've said, she really wanted to go through and to find Anatsu, so she'll need to be persuasive to do that. Then a woman of the house had some talk with her, and she was trying to like talk her out of it, but Rin was too determined, so she decided to help her. And this whole stuff was extremely crazy, and I really love it how they played it off, especially how Rin played it off. Like, it was such a huge jump in her character. Like, she finally took some initiative and did something for her own, something very dangerous, and she managed to do that. So good, Rain. I'm very happy for you, how you are going, how you're kind of growing as a character. Good. Very good. With first gate, there was no problem because in the first gate of this gate system in a city, town, whatever, there was the people from the town or village nearby, and of course they know this guy, so they didn't have a problem to give him a pass. But inside, there were some officials, and that was problem because these officials, for them this is very important. They are paid money for like this gate, like not getting dangerous people passing. So if they screwed up, they could be like killed, you know what I mean. So of course they take it very seriously. So they had some question to the smuggler, and somehow he managed to like be kind of okay, but damn, he was sweating. Like in this whole procedure, he was sweating bullets, and he was obviously nervous. Like seriously, this guy. So of course officials would immediately pick up something is wrong when this guy is sweating bullets big as freaking I don't know what, like bullets, like he was literally sweating bullets. He was so fucking nervous. At least there was a Rin, and she was very determined, and she knew her life is on the line, so she did everything for that. Good lord for her. Yeah, officials smelled something shady, so they took Rin and questioned her. The smuggler was there too, and at first he was trying to intervene, but officials were like, hey, one last word and you are going to have problems. So this poor guy was sweating even more. Like I said, he almost got a heart attack because of that. Because he didn't knew if Rin has some kind of plan, and if she wouldn't have some kind of plan, they're both dead. So yeah, I can understand it, but still, like, you should probably dial the nervousness down, dude. I really loved that. I mean, obviously, officials were very well prepared. I had papers with, like, families in the village and people and their families, etc. So if someone came through and claimed he is a relative of someone, they would immediately know. They would ask him some questions, and if that person would not like answer them correctly, they would immediately know he's just some fake person trying to impersonate as someone's family member. So of course, good preparation. They're taking it seriously, of course, so not surprised. Because Rin and the smuggler, they kind of took a different approach. Because at first she wanted him to kind of adopt her, but that's nonsense. They would immediately figure that out. Like, suddenly you are trying to, like, adopt some girl, and now she needs suddenly to go out of this village gate. Like, shady, right? So they decided for her to be, I think, a family member of his wife, cousin or something. And of course she doesn't live with them, so it's kind of far away. So in this day and era they wouldn't immediately know if it is her or not, because there is no means they would be able to call in to place which is, I don't know, thousand of miles away, of course. So they were asking her some questions about the family she is supposedly to be in. A lot of like family details, and she prepared for that very well because a wife told her all this stuff, of course, to prepare for that. So she remembered all of that, and she was a really great actor. Like, through this whole interrogation, she acted very well. It was very believable, and I really loved it. Then she talked about like her family, how they died, and while she was like telling that story about her family and how they died and like this whole tragic stuff, she was thinking about her own family. So of course her feelings were real. because she was thinking about her real family. So I'm really glad that she really thought this out. But just because of the wife of this smuggler, if she wouldn't be there and if she wouldn't help her, Rin would be screwed, like for real. So it was like this whole thing, and she almost passed. So he wanted to see her body because the wife's cousin or whatever had a scar on her stomach because there was some hard birth. It's not natural birth, okay? I don't know how is it called in English. So it was probably kind of that. So he wanted to see like the scar, or they wanted to check her body. But of course there would be problem because if they had like doctor there, he would check her body and immediately know something is wrong. I mean, I don't think Rin even had a man. So if they would check her, they would know she never had a man. You know, that she is a virgin, so the story would be immediately flashed down. So she did a clever trick and she just stripped, well, almost stripped, but not exactly, in front of them and showed a scar, which the wife gave her, so the story would be more believable. Believable? Whatever. They would believe this story because of the scar. She's supposed to have a scar. Even poor smuggler was like, oh. Okay, now I can understand why they wanted to do this. He was totally like shocked. Poor guy. Sweating. So she showed them the scar, and because she was very dramatic about it, they get her pass. Yeah, she was great actor, and she like was trying to play like, you're trying to like see my body and check me, and I'm having like all these sad feelings because of my family tragedy and whatever, and you're doing this to me, so whatever, I will just show it to you. So she was like kind of playing this angry woman, like annoyed with all of this stuff that they're not believing her. She played it well. So like I said, I gave her a pass, but now Rin has a scar. I didn't know if it was probably shallow. She didn't go that much deep, but still. I really love this episode. It was like Rin did a great job. Like from someone who barely could take care of herself, she did this. I mean, she should be thanking that wife a whole lot, but still, she is lucky that she met them. Very lucky. And what was very like precious was that she paid them money for this, and like she told them the story and blah blah blah. I think she paid them all the money, but this wife, she gave her some food, I think some rice balls or whatever, and she opened it to eat it, and they were like a bit of that money she gave them, like, and some message, I think that she was like, I'm taking part of the money, but I'm still leaving you some. I didn't tell my husband, but I'm leaving you a little bit. So it was very nice of her because she didn't need to like gave her some money back, but I guess she really felt her story, and she really felt sorry for her, so she didn't want her to be without money, because you know, without money you can't do anything, even back then, especially back then. So yeah, these people were so nice. Rin is very lucky she met them, or she would probably be dead. Yeah, she would definitely be dead. What a nice people. I hope that man didn't have a heart attack, because seriously, poor guy. Poor guy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, his wife didn't tell him because his wife didn't tell him. That was kind of mean. That was kind of mean. They didn't tell him the whole story, so the whole time he was freaking out. But yeah, I really like it. Huge progress of Rin's character, and I hope it would just get better and better. I think it went better, but like I've said, I don't remember. I read it a long time ago. God dang it. And I give this episode 8 out of 10. I would say probably one of the best episodes. Yeah, really, really, really like this one. Like, previous episode was kinda maybe with that bit with Shura, but this episode was really good, and I like that it was more of a Rin oriented. Rin, more about Rin, just like focused on Rin than on others. So we could finally see that she's also capable of things if she really wants. She's just still a kid, naive kid, so yeah, it would take her time. She needs to listen to people like Manji, and probably she would be better and better. Yeah, I hope that. So I think that's all. Goodbye and see you next time.